Swara Bhaskar is one of those actresses whose middle name could easily be versatile. And in conversation with Bollywood Life, hi, welcome to Bollywood Life, first of all.
Thank you.
And so you've been very versatile with your choice of roles. Till now, you've played a Payal in Tanu Weds Manu and Chanda in Neel Batte Sannata. So what's new with this one?
Okay, first of all, I really like that. Swara Versatile Bhaskar. That's quite a title. Thank you. Yes, you're right. I've played very different kinds of roles, whether it was, the best friend of crazy, like a protagonist in Tanu Weds Manu, or the jilted lover in Ranjana, or angry sister in Prem Ratan, or a harassed mother in Nil Batte. It's Not That Simple is one of my most not simple characters. I play Meera, who is an urban young woman who's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a wife, she's a friend, and she's not happy in her life, and she realizes that she's life seems perfect, but it isn't actually. And then how friendship becomes the way for Meera to reassess her life. And it's a web series, it's a 6-part web series that Voot has created called It's Not That Simple. It's directed by Danish Aslam, who directed Break Ke Baad, a film called Break Ke Baad, and he's done some television. It's written by a very well-known writer, Charudat Acharya, who's also very good, as you will see when you watch this show. It's a really fun, rational, sensible, honest, fresh, unapologetic look at urban relationships, at love, at sex, at friendship, at marriage, at outside marriage.
So the show is based on the idea of marriage and a woman's stand in a relationship. So what's your idea of marriage?
Yeah, the show basically looks at the puzzle that marriage is, and looks at what happens when even one or two pieces of that puzzle fall out. How does that change the whole picture? My own take about marriage is it's a good take. I think it's a good idea. I'm someone who's very close to my family. I'm someone who's very connected to my family. I'm very family oriented. I have a very good example of marriage in the marriage of my parents. So I have only seen the good sides of marriage. I've seen marriage always as enabling, as something that's very positive, that brings a lot of stability, joy, happiness in the lives of people. My father and my mother was able to leave her 2 children, me and my brother, when we were we were young kids, and with my dad, her husband, and go and pursue her career and do her PhD in New York. And she was only able to do that because she was married. So I've never seen marriage as a limitation, as an obstacle. But I know that for a lot of Indian women especially, and women in the subcontinent, that's what marriage becomes. I hope to be one of the lucky ones for whom marriage will be a positive, enabling thing.
So do you think that relationships right now have become more complicated than it used to be for our parents?
Yeah, I think definitely, for sure, because I think that our societies are changing. We live in a very rapidly changing world. Our values are traditional, but our lifestyle is very modern. Our routines are very modern. I think that traditional institutions are dissolving. They don't have the same rigidity anymore. There was a time when women didn't have any choices. There was one man you were married to, and that was the only man that you'd ever be close to, friends with, chat with. You didn't have that kind of interaction. Today, we have so many male friends. We hug them to greet them. We have so many more spaces for intimacy, even intimate conversation, even just getting to know someone. So obviously, with more freedom comes more confusion and more chaos. And so relationships, I think, have definitely become more complicated because our values have become more complicated.
So is there any one piece of, because you said that your parents have been happily married and you've seen the happier side of marriage before, so any advice from your mother to you about relationships that you stick to?
I think that my mother would always say to me that you should always I'm a very impulsive person, I'm a very reckless person, and she would always say to me that in your relationship, don't be so impulsive, hold on and just give it some time. Don't let the recklessness and impulsiveness in your character affect your relationship. And I think that's generally good advice for anyone. My father always says that relationships are like plants. So they have to grow, and for that they need time. So you can't keep digging up to see ki, oh, jade nikli ki nahi, because then the plant will die. I think that this is the two kind of advice that I've always got from my parents, and I think it's pretty good advice.
Okay. So, and secondly, why a web series? What convinced you to do a web series?
Well, I think that the web space is a new space that has kind of opened up in India. It has a lot of promise. It doesn't have the pressure like box office like films. It doesn't have the pressure of TRP like television. It doesn't have the pressure of the censor board. So it's really somewhere where we can experiment. We can do new things. We can be creative, and I think that the audiences are really they are actually accepting the space very rapidly. So for me as an actor, it's a new platform, and I'm excited to see how the audience relates to me on this platform.
Okay. So you've been you have very strong opinions, and you've always been showcasing. No, that's not where I'm getting at. I'm just asking, and you've been showcasing how upset you are very openly. And lately a lot of actors have been soft targets, and for putting their views out or for not putting their views out. Yeah. So they face a lot of flack. So does this bother you?
Yeah, I definitely think that artists are easier targets in our society because they are public personalities. They are also easy targets because our job is to put our work out to you for judgment and for consumption. So it's very easy for audiences to be like, oh, I don't like this actor, I'll boycott this actor, and then we're in like serious trouble. So I think it's very important that when you're in a state like this, that the society that you're flourishing in be democratic, be tolerant, be open, be able to have a conversation and not resort to like galis on Twitter, which is what greet me every morning. But I think that society can only be created when we are open and honest in our opinion, and when we don't feel scared to have a conversation or have a debate. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm so vocal, despite often drawing flack for it, because this is my society too, and I care about it, and I don't want silence to be misconstrued as compliance and as acceptance. I think that when something around you is happening which is wrong, we should say no really loudly.
So now we get to the tedious question. So your take on banning Pakistani artists in India?
Look, I think that, as I said, and as I have said again and again, there is no debate and there is no discussion on the fact that what happened in Uri and the attacks by the terrorists in Uri and then yesterday in Baramulla are shameful. They are highly condemnable. They have no defense. There is no defense for terrorism. And I think that our army and our government has taken a very strong stand on that. And I think that our government is very responsible. Our army is very professional and responsible, and they should be allowed to do their job. As far as artists go, I think that art is something that is a means of friendship. It is a means of peace. It is a means of cultural exchange, and we should leave it like that. We shouldn't mix art with politics. Even the actors themselves shouldn't do it. So I think that if actors want to remain silent on particular issues, sometimes that's okay because they are vulnerable. They are easy targets. Look at what happened to Amir and Shah Rukh when they made comments on the intolerance debate. Pakistan is a far more volatile country than ours, a far more volatile society than ours. Amjad Sabri, a very well-known qawwal, was gunned down 3 months ago, maybe, by terrorists or criminals or who the hell they were, nobody knows. So if in this context their actors are scared for their lives and for the lives and safety of their family, I'm not surprised. I would say, however, that this binary that we are setting up of the soldier versus the artist, it's a false binary. There is no connection between an artist and those terrorists. At least we have not found any. So why are we jumping the gun? Let's calm down. Let our governments do their job. Let our armies do their job. They are responsible and they're doing it.
I have one last question. Yeah. So Sonam Kapoor, you're very close to Sonam Kapoor, and you guys are doing Veere Di Wedding, and she also styles you sometimes, and That's what I've heard.
Yeah, whenever Sonam can get a chance to lay her paws on me, she tries to style me because she has some very strong views about how I dress. But that's normally only when in casual situations, because I have now discovered that amazing thing called a stylist. So for all public appearances, I am generally styled by somebody else. But yeah, Sonam is very helpful with her fashion advice.
So, any one particular fashion advice from Sonam that you follow?
Yeah, the one advice Sonam is constantly giving me is don't wear this. Okay, her fashion advice is encapsulated in the sentence, don't wear this. But I think that we're both pretty busy and, we don't often have a chance to actually spend time on this. But Sonam is a dear friend, and I really trust her judgment on, not just on fashion, she's also a very smart girl otherwise. So, yeah, she's someone I trust and have respect for. Yeah.
So, thank you so much for being on Bollywood Live.
Thank you. Please download the Voot app and start watching It's Not That Simple from 6th October. Streams on 6th October. It's not that simple.